Now, back to Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on CL 650.
I say y'all having a good time out there.
Welcome back to the Best of Food and Wine. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Casey
It's
Wilson.
Wine Festival week in Vancouver. Actually, I've been going since Sunday, more or less, at the festival.
Yes, you have, and you were just back from Argentina.
I was in Argentina
One
for
day.
a week. That's right.
And you know what, Tony? You don't get too jet lagged.
You know
I'm
what,
impressed.
Casey? It's 3 in the morning.
Oh,
No,
geez.
1 in the morning. Never mind. Joining us now is Mark Hopley. He's assistant winemaker at Hester Creek. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you back.
Cheers.
You're the first Canadian winery on the show, the first BC winery.
It's good to start it off.
Yeah. Having fun in Vancouver?
Absolutely.
Like, do you get to town enough, or
No, never,
Yeah.
never.
don't you? Can you not complain about that at the winery, or say I
Well,
need to go to Vancouver every other weekend?
We're either in the cellar or in the vineyard.
Yeah.
So it's nice to come down to the city and see
Yeah.
what's going on.
It's
So,
and isn't it fun to talk to consumers? Like, when you're a winemaker, to really spend a couple days and get like real feedback.
You know what?
Instead of from the critics.
I
you
was
know?
just chatting with Stu about that off
Yeah.
air. It's so true. When we don't get the feedback in the winery. Once in
Yeah.
a while, obviously, customers come through and we get some feedback, but as winemakers, we're not always out there in the public, and I think it's really good.
Yes, it's important for you to
Yeah.
get out.
It is. You see what people like, maybe what they don't like, where some of the trends are going.
Yes.
So for me, that's really exciting.
And to meet all these amazing winemakers that are here also.
Oh, absolutely. Well, some of the tastings that we've been to this week have been
I
unbelievable.
thought you were going to say the amazing women that are at the show, Casey.
That too.
Yeah.
Wait till Saturday night.
All right, hold on. Hester Creek. Let's start with Hester Creek, where it is, because you got a fantastic new appellation to talk about too. So
We do.
Tell our listeners where Hester Creek is if they don't know.
So we're situated on the Golden Mile Bench, just south of Oliver, about like a 10-minute drive south of Oliver, so between Oliver and Asuyas.
Yep.
And we're on the west side of the valley.
The wine capital of Canada, by the way.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
If you just look at it, there's so many wineries down there. There's some exciting things going on, but we're very excited the fact that we can put a sense of place to what we're doing, especially with the Golden Mile. For me, and for Rob, that's very exciting.
Yeah. Now, you brought, I want to get right into the wines so that we don't
Sure.
miss them. You brought the 2015, not released yet, Trebbiano.
Exactly.
This is one of the most amazing wines made in BC. Congratulations on
Is
that.
it one of the? It's one of the only Trebbianos made in Canada, is it not?
To my knowledge, so far.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Well, when people taste it, they probably think, well, I'd like to make that. But then you have a secret weapon, old vines.
Exactly. And so these are all from one distinct block that was planted in 1968.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so the original owner, Joe Busnardo,
I was just getting back from Expo 67 in those days.
so Expo 67.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him.
Exactly. He wasn't even
Come
born
on.
yet.
86, we can talk.
Come on. No, that was a different Expo, yeah.
So we're really excited about this wine, Tony, Casey. It's unique. Okay, so here we have something that was brought from the old world to the Okanagan in 1968.
Yeah.
And these vines basically crop themselves. They're at that point now where, they don't hang. That Trebbiano can be a very vigorous vine. But they don't hang as much fruit as you might think, and the flavors that we get from these old vines are
beautiful.
just incredible.
So what do you do with this wine? Like,
Well,
nothing?
What do we
I
do
hope,
with
like,
it?
you bring it to the winery and
we
don't do too much with
really,
it?
You hit it on the head. We
Yeah.
really don't do a lot. The vines, the vineyard does the work. The guys in the vineyard do the work. But this wine is going to be released in a couple of weeks, so mid-March. It's not released yet, so we thought we'd bring it down and show it to you. But I'm pretty excited about the 2015 vintage as a whole. There's a lot of fruit going on in this wine. So you get a lot of yellow flowers, some blossom. I want to say there's a little bit of white grapefruit for me, and maybe a little bit of gooseberry in this too.
by the way,
quite unique.
I like that you say "for me," because people taste wine differently.
Absolutely, it's very
Is
true.
that right, Casey? You don't like
No different than food, right?
No, that's
you don't
right.
like pronouncements on wine? Or?
No, I don't. I just like the way
No, I don't.
Mark said that.
Yeah, well, this wine it's so unique to start with. It's so delicious, and it's great to see that. I think as we mature, as an industry to have these kind of vines, these old vines, these kind of wines. This is the direction that is going to put the Okanagan on the real map.
We're very fortunate.
And
Yeah.
these could have easily been torn out of the vineyard with
Yeah.
Yeah.
new
That would've been
people
horrible.
coming in. Things like that have happened.
Yep, absolutely.
We always order this at Best of India in
Nice.
Oliver when we go there for dinner.
See, this would pair with Indian food very well.
Exactly. It
Very
would
well.
also be very good with appetizers.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely a house favorite, I can tell you that.
Great package too. It's grown up a lot. It's very sophisticated now. I love the screw cap, and it looks like a serious wine, which is great.
Thank you.
And it's not a serious price, though, is it?
No,
Well, no,
got it right
they're
there.
not giving it away, I don't think.
$22.95.
$22.95. There you go. Okay, so
sells out very
and it
quickly.
should be out in the
Yes.
next month or so, I guess.
You could
eh?
probably raise the price.
How many bottles of this are you making?
We did
Roughly.
roughly, I want to say 10,000 liters, so
1,000.
9-liter cases.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's a limited production, and that's what we want to get
12,000
across.
bottles. That's it.
It's not a lot.
No.
I mean, and the thing is we can only make so much of it. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not something that we can duplicate.
Well done. Thanks
you.
for that. Thanks for the preview too. I guess we're one of the first people to taste it,
You are, absolutely.
unless it's out in the room. I don't know. But
No, it's not.
yeah. Thanks so much. Delicious. The second wine is the Judge, which is a good story. Hester Creek Limited Edition of Judge. Now we have the 2012 in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
This is a blend, a red blend.
So this is our Bordeaux style, if you will, heritage style wine. So basically we're looking at this as Merlot, Cabernet Franc, and Cabernet Sauvignon. In a warmer year, it'll be a little more cab driven. But we basically say, we like to keep it fairly, we don't want to split hairs on percentages, but it's roughly a third. Merlot, Cab Sauv, Cab Franc.
And I think he was a hanging judge, which is kind of a good name for hanging grapes, hanging judge.
Well, that's where you get those flavors.
Exactly.
It wasn't all that long ago. I think about 1991 or 92, maybe, when the first red varieties went into South Okanagan. Many people thought it's not going to work.
That's right.
There's no problem now.
Were you one
But
of them,
it's not-
Tony?
No, I don't think I was one of them. But when Harry McWater said to me, "We're going to plant all these red varieties," I thought, "Well, that's pretty brave."
It's ambitious.
Yeah, It was ambitious, but of course, most places you have to be ambitious to do anything in the wine business. So
I think there's a lot of foresight that went into that. You
Yeah.
look at, I'll give you an example. This year, we had grapes coming to the winery as early as August 29th, which I've never seen personally
incredible.
before, unless you're doing sparkling. But that's
That's very
unseen.
early.
It was a hot year.
And I've heard already that the vintage is almost underway. Like the soil's warming
It's
up
not-
in the Okanagan, and
It's not far off.
yeah. So the springs are coming much earlier. We know that.
Yeah, there's definitely been a change in the last few years. I mean, we don't know if this is the new norm,
Yeah.
but we have to, as winemakers and as, people
you gotta
in the
react.
Exactly. You have to anticipate that. So
Yeah.
if it is the new norm, great.
So the Judge, where does it fit in? I mean, you make other wines, so
Yeah.
what is the
So
what's
the
the
Judge
point of the Judge in the end for you or for Rob?
We're telling a story.
And by the way, Rob Summers is
Rob
the
Summers,
winemaker.
my boss, our head winemaker. Basically, this wine tells a story, and Rob made the first vintage in 2007. Somebody asked me today, how long will that wine age? Well, we still don't know the answer to that because we're still aging it.
Yeah.
So, the line is 10 or 5 to 10 years.
We're very
but-
needy. We need answers.
Yes,
We need
yeah.
answers.
Sometimes it's hard to pin that down to an
Yes.
exact date, but it's evolving and still very, very drinkable at this point, right? So, the 12 here, I think it's got some nice tannins, so you'll be able to lay it down for a while. Our goal is always to have wines that are approachable now, but will get more elegant with age. So,
Okay. Golden Mile Bench. That's been a good thing too, I think, huh?
huge. When I say sense of place, it gives me the warm fuzzies.
Well, I mean, I've been writing about this stuff for 2 decades, and sometimes I think people don't get it at all, but I can simplify it now. The Golden Mile Bench is a place. This wine is from that place, and it's on the label. So when you go in the store, you can buy wine from the Golden Mile Bench.
Yeah.
And then, because a lot of people argue saying, well, what does the Golden Mile Bench, what's so different about that? Well, I could say I know a bit, but now I know a lot, because every time I have one with that Golden Mile Bench on it, I can feel the bench. I can feel the taste. I don't know what, in 10 years or 15 years' time, it's going to be pretty clear, but at least now I know that fruit is from there. I can give it my attention as that place, and I think it's really important.
Well, we all know what it's like when we find a wine that we really like, can identify with, go back to it every year, and have consistent, obviously you're going to have some vintage variation, but have consistent results.
Yeah. I just came out of a seminar from Chianti Classico. It's been 300 years since they defined the region. 300 years of tasting and making wine inside a zone which was defined as Chianti Classico. Well, that's fantastic.
It is.
So you've got 1 year now with the Golden Mile Bench. Imagine 300 years from now, exactly the same thing, right? This is what's so great about it.
That's something I should probably point out too, is that our wines that are estate grown on our estate will say Golden Mile Bench on them. That's one thing new that the customers will see from Hester Creek.
Yeah, and you can go back to, I guess, what vintage, 12, or I think you can go right back, right?
Well, they're already. The thing is those
they're already bottled.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's good. Well, I'm happy about it, and I know that the Okanagan's working on more appellations. I don't know if it's going to happen, but
time will tell.
Anyways, you've got yours.
Well,
which is nice.
It'd be like this, everybody has a sense of place.
We're almost out of time. Sorry, Mark. Mark Hopley, the assistant winemaker at Hester Creek. Mark, people can drop by. You got a great restaurant to have a bite to eat.
Amazing restaurant.
Yes,
you've got ridiculously crazy suites. The villas up on top.
We got 6 Tuscan-inspired suites up top. You stayed there.
They're so beautiful. Those beds alone are worth every penny you pay to stay in there, and it's quiet.
We have cooking classes. Our goal is to give the full winery experience. So from top to bottom, you go from the villas, you go through the winery, perhaps a cooking class, do some tasting, go to Terrafina for a nice meal.
Yeah, excellent hospitality.
Mark, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you bringing a preview look at the 2015 Hester Creek Trebbiano, one of their signature wines, and the 2012 limited edition, The Judge. All of them available direct from the winery.
Yes.
Also available in the remaining VQA stores, I would guess, and maybe in some grocery stores and government stores, maybe.
Well said.
Thanks. We're done?
We're done.
Let's take a break. You're listening to Sea Isle 650's Best of Food and Wine. We're live on location. Guess who's here? Art Factora is with us. Art, have you been around in a couple of booths? Or?
I took a quick walk around. But,
Italian booths? Or?
I'm trying to pace it myself.
Yeah?
We're here for 3 days.
Barolo, Art. Go to the Barolo booths and get started.
Barolo.
Nebbiolo. That's your next challenge.
That's amore.
We'll take a quick break. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Casey Wilson.
We'll be right back on the Best of Food and Wine.
This is Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on Smooth and Easy. Sea Isle 650.